So, moving along, we are now about to do the second last point. Recognize the principle. So now, remember now, I'm able to recognize the principle, the fact that in the parody, in the story about life, the Bible, Jesus came along as a guru, making a way for his bride. He is a man that's doing three things, saying that this is the name in which the coming person will come in, demonstrating the qualities of that person, and declaring that that person is coming eminently. Now, recognizing the principle, Shembe is Jesus motherfucking Christ. Why do I say this? Because he read the story and he decided to respond, which is different to saying, I believe that Jesus died for my sins, and he's going to come back in the clouds like Superman to take me to heaven where he is. No. Shembe responded by being inspired, being pregnant with the idea of becoming the groom that makes way for the coming king and being a reflection of who the coming king of creation is. The person that is strong enough or capable of implementing the kingdom of God. So that's who Shembe is. Jesus motherfucking Christ. That's who he is. In Zulu, Jesus motherfucking Christ means the idea of Jesus Christ recontextualized in the context of the Zulu people. That's what Jesus motherfucking Christ means. The definition that I've given before when I tripped and I'm like, I'm Jesus motherfucking Christ, is like saying I'm demonstrating the principle of who Jesus in the story was. And how I watered it down was I said, I'm Jesus in the money game Christ. I am Jesus in the context of the money game. The only difference is I'm not Jesus the fisherman who was hanging out with the fisherman and the Jew in Rome. I'm Jesus in the context of the money game in modern times. I'm actively participating, making interventions in the context of the money game. So yeah. So here's where I'm going with this. Now in this section we're saying recognize the principle. And I'm going to try and do a short, quick check. And if you want to interrogate me on this, you can. You can. But I'm going to talk about this motherfucker that died. You know, this motherfucker that died is called Mike Kamado. Mike Kamado deliberately said, fuck this life. It's one of the things that Jesus said in the parody, in the story. They said, who loses his life for my sake will gain it. Who wants to keep his life will lose it anyway. Right. So that principle is quite interesting. Is that not being a martyr is not about just now going and having your blood being spilled and suffering mortality. In principle, suffering mortality, what Jesus was talking about is like saying, if I put an end to what I want to do and do what Jesus would want to do, that is a form of death. Right? You know, death is, no dead man, no corpse can do what it wills. One thing about a corpse is that it has no will. It can't do what it wants. It has no will. So, when a human being suffers death, the principal level of death is being able to say, lose your life, lose your will, and submit to the will of the one that you follow. And this is what I got to point out. Right. As a kid, Mike Kamado read the story of Jesus and be like, look, I'm going to help you. I am going to be your bride. I didn't think about it in that sense when I was a kid, but the fact that I'm like, I'm going to throw you ass. I'm going to help you. I'm going to put my will and what I want to do aside and do what you would do. because somebody's got to reflect you now in the context of this life. Right. But as I grow up, I get attached to the idea of the Zulu kingdom. And let me point it this way. Let's do the checklist. Right. I'm a man that's from outside Zululand. I'm like a foreigner. My parents were from Zim. But my father and the Nube and Dawana clan, they were Zulu people. We had Zulu roots. In fact, the only thing I know about my father and my father's lineage is fundamentally that my father was the right hand of Shaka. My great-great-great-grandfather was the right hand of Shaka. So you can see, I'm a person that's, not regarded in the strictest sense as being Zulu, because my parents are from Zim, but I got Zulu roots for sure. So there's a history, right? Recognize the principle. I'm doing this checklist to say that's who my grandmother was. That's who I talk, because I'm not that guy anymore. Because, like I'm saying, forfeited my life to follow the groom and follow the example of the man that I have say I got married to. And here's the put it out. Resistant to the calling. Jeez, man. Many times of late, and I think many times I've wanted to say who I am and try to impose what I know, but I've flaked out of that because of the people being from outside and being known as somebody from outside. What do I know? And when you're despised and people don't really take you seriously, you're not really valued in that way, you don't really have the belief that people will believe what you say. And recently I've resisted quite a bit. Not necessarily because I wanted to. I've had a bad experience where I went out on a limb and I disclosed, hey guys, I'm Jesus motherfucking Christ, and I'm here to reestablish the Zulu kingdom. Literally. And I got my ass kicked. I got my ass handed to me, lost my son, lost everything. And now I'm among Zulu people that are following a movement that's meant to prepare a place for me. And I just don't believe that they won't believe. So I'm resistant to the calling. So this is the fact that I'm doing this in this format. Resistant to the calling. The reason why this is called, I was called a mad person. Ishai. Right? And when I speak, especially when I speak in motherfucking Zulu, motherfuckers don't understand what I'm saying. It takes a while, and I had just an experience the other day where I'm trying to explain the Zulu social experiment to motherfuckers, right? And they're just not getting it. And then the phone cuts off because we're having a virtual call, and one of the other people on the phone tries to just explain to them in literally 3 minutes. And by the time I got back on the call, they're like, oh no, we get it, man. We get it, man. It took you 15 minutes, 20 minutes to try and explain this. No, we get it now. We understand. It's just like insurance and whatever, and we get it, So people don't fucking understand what the fuck I'm saying. You know what I mean? Check. Right? So the reason why I'm doing this is to say the Shembe that's coming. How do we know the Shembe that's coming? And this is another thing that's quite interesting. Like if you've heard the Cinderella story, how did the king or the prince find Cinderella and know that this was the girl that she danced with? It's because the shoe that the girl left behind, Cinderella left behind, that shoe was used to find that girl, because only she could be able to fit in that shoe. So this is a similar exercise. This is the shoe. These qualities of who Shembe that was is the shoe. somebody's got to be able to fit in that shoe. And that person that fits in that shoe is that Shembe that's coming. And I want to point out again at this point in time, Amanazareta, as a group of Amanazareta for the first time that are not following the man in the dress. They're following Ushemba Womoya. So Ushemba Womoya means, and I want to just clarify, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're an invisible person. Shemba Womoya means an actual person who was not a Shembe from bloodline. Right? He's not Shembe bloodline, but he has the spiritual qualities of Shembe. So Shembe Womoya doesn't mean an invisible person. Shembe Womoya means a person that demonstrates the spiritual qualities of who Shembe was. And this is what we're trying to establish here. Right. Mad person, nobody understands what he's saying. Righteous convict. Man, I've been jailed fucking several times for some bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been jailed because I refuse to fucking say I ain't gonna get no fucking job. I have a fucking job, bitch. You know what I mean? And then they just jailed me like, this kid must go into jail now. I have a fucking job. I'm here to reestablish the fucking Zulu kingdom. What the fuck is, why you on my dick? Get off my dick, bitch. You know, that was me fucking, that's that Michael Marlowe that died, nigga, that said, fuck Michael Marlowe, fuck the career he was supposed to have, fuck all of that, actually. That can all fucking die. I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? All I give a fuck about is implementing the kingdom of God here on earth. And I've got that ability. And I'm gonna do that. I ain't gonna fucking sacrifice fucking heaven and earth for some fucking piece of shit job. I ain't give a fuck. So I got jailed for that. I got thrown into jail. Police came to my house, fucking put me in jail. Just for that, because this fucking woman was like, this fucking guy is on fucking drugs. Fucking arrest this motherfucker. Right. Recently, I got beat up by motherfuckers who was trying to say, niggas, let's implement the kingdom of God. I'm gonna give you the economy and all the systems that I build, and you guys will be the holders of this economy, while I make sure that there's no point in having a paradise and creating a paradise on earth if I can't ensure my life. So we are gonna try to escape mortality, and so I get beat up by these guys. They beat me up, fucking threatened to kill me, and throw me in jail and falsely accused me for fucking breaking the window or some shit like that of a fucking car. And when we try to resolve it, these motherfuckers, they don't want to do that. They just get me jailed, dude. So constantly, several occasions, even when I was at the mines, getting persecuted by these Afrikaner motherfuckers. And when I confront one of the motherfuckers, be like, nigga, you fucking me, dog? Are you fucking me? I got a motherfucking family. Fuck you, man. You're gonna fucking remember me. And when I say this to the man, he gets so terrified, he goes, opens the case against me to say I threatened his life. And now I'm getting handcuffed and fucking thrown into the cells for some bullshit. Righteous convict, right? And the only thing that I get arrested is for some bullshit. Right? When I was supposed to get arrested and incidentally went for drunk driving, funny enough, I'd get away with it. But when I'm doing the righteous shit, I get fucked. I get thrown into jail, you know? So yeah, I suffered a goddamn lot. Look, like at this point in time, fuck, lost all my teeth. I got like literally 2 teeth left at the back that I used to chew. And they're like literally holding on by a thread. I've been sick, ill. Just the other day I've been puking like last night. Just been puking for days. Just fucking dying, man, you know? Fucking eating shit. For the purpose. Suffered a lot for the purpose of God, right? Right? For the purpose. For the purpose of what Shembe suffered for. Right? And the whole point here is that I've created a whole experiment, and I've left my whole life and created. At this point in time, there are like 5 functional instruments that will be used to implement Umbuso Wezulu. More than that, I've got what we call the Declaration of Sovereignty that describes Umbuso Wezulu here on earth, that is a response to the Shembe that was prayer. Uvuka nathi, ulala nathi, isabat, tandas vesabat. So I've done all of that, right? And come as you are, fulfill the prophecy. And this is what I'm here to do, is say, as a nigga, like as a motherfucking nigga, I am qualified. In my whole self, reflect the wisdom and the righteousness of God. And I'm here to fulfill the prophecies that were made by the God of the Bible and make those things apparent. And fundamentally, the prophecy is basically creating a kingdom, an eternal covenant in the kingdom of peace, and getting a generation of people to escape mortality. You get what I mean? Where human beings can live together in harmony and peace and get human beings to escape mortality. That is what it is. So I'm saying, whether you drink, whether you don't drink, whether you got a long dick, whether you got no dick, whether you Indian, Chinese, or fucking bald, or fucking hairy, come as you are. Let's fulfill the prophecies and bring about the promises that were made by the God of the Bible. And that's what I'm about. And I created those instruments, and I hope this is clear that if we were to look at who Shembe is, Shembe Womoya, Makoti was a Zulini, and that's why I'm talking about Makoti was a Zulini. Makoti was a Zulini, not just a man that wears a dress that leads a congregation of a Manazarete. Makoti was a Zulini, is the person that's actually gonna build the kingdom of God, build the house. Build the house. And what I have set out to do, and why I get arrested and be called a mad person, because I've spent the last 6 years building that house like a faithful bride. Initially, when I started off, I had no idea about who Shembe was, but I recognized the principle of who Jesus was and was prepared to be the bride of that principle. Thankfully, in real life, Shembe that did come along and make supplications and reveal to people the qualities of who I have become. So if there's a question of who's Shembe Omoya, Shembe Omoya is that nigga, or is that guy that fits into this shoe, demonstrates these qualities, despite the fact that he's not a bloodline Shembe member. He's not from the bloodline. And I think I have Kosim Sebe'elang to thank for this. Because if he didn't make this application, because the fact that he didn't appoint anyone to inherit the congregation after him, and he didn't appoint anyone from his bloodline, that puts the people in a position where they're forced to look for a person that demonstrates the quality regardless of the fucking bloodline. And it's ironic because Umakoti was a Zulini, is gonna be somebody from another bloodline. It has to be. Because the same way a woman gets married into a family, the woman is not blood related to the groom. No, the woman is never blood related to the groom. And this is what needs to be understood by the congregation of the Manasaret. And it's why I'm doing this. Is to say that whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, this is who I've become. So it's up to you, motherfuckers, what we do about it. Do we despise a nigga and say, fuck you, who the fuck do you think you are, you piece of shit, fucking guang, we don't fuck with you? Or be like, goddamn shit, thank God you're here, like, because all I've come to do is fucking serve. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. And I think if you look at my history, I'm a motherfucker that don't give a fuck about nothing else but to see most of this. And if I'm a Nazareth, that's what you guys do and pray for every day, might as well fuck with the nigga. Might as well fuck with the nigga because I ain't asking anybody to fucking kneel or fuck with the nigga. Help me and help fulfill what chamber that was so. Alright.